and have spoken to a few different companies in the past, but didn't really want to go there. And I just felt that Debt Angels had a different approach and was sort of different focus than some of these other companies that just, wanted you to, I suppose, declare bankruptcy or things like that. And that's not something I wanted to do. Yeah, I felt that it was good. I felt that you actually, both yourself and Kitty, when I spoke to you, actually really listened to the background as to how we got into the situation that we were in, and really understood where it had come from, which I think gives you, I suppose when you're pushing for a result with the banks or the finances, it just gives you a different perspective on doing that for your clients. Working in the finance industry, I've always been really ashamed and embarrassed about the position that we'd got ourselves into, that I should have known better. So I think just feeling a little bit more comfortable that to not feel so ashamed and embarrassed, but just to I suppose get on and face it and do something about it. They are waiving the interest and have reduced the amount of the debt a little bit, and so our monthly repayments on each of those debts is quite a lot less than what it was. And being able to then use the surplus funds that we were paying on the debts to pay off some of our other debts. So my husband he only had a couple more payments left on the car loan, so he just paid that. So that's another debt knocked on its head. So yeah, just being able to be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit less stress financially, and the goal of being able to buy our own home and not rent anymore is just that little bit more. I had got to the point where I had just resigned myself to the fact that we were going to be renting for the rest of our lives, and not have much to be able to help our children in the future. But I think now that that goal of being able to have buy our own home and be paying off our own mortgage than to be paying someone else's mortgage is a little bit more reachable, a bit more attainable. Just the other day, I think on the weekend, my 10-year-old daughter said to me, Mum, how long are we going to have to keep renting for? Because my husband has promised the kids a dog when we buy our own home. And I just think is he saying that because he doesn't think we're ever going to buy our own home? Just so that, because, he's not really the dog person, I am. So, I answered her and I said, look, I don't know, but hopefully, sooner rather than later, because I know that the kids, all they want is a dog. All our daughter has asked for the last couple of Christmases and birthdays is a dog. And it makes me feel a lot better when she asks a question like that I can truthfully answer her and say, hopefully sooner rather than later. I mean, that's a 5-year maybe thing, but 5 years is better than never. When I've rung those other companies in the past, I always just felt like really bad. It just left a really bad feeling talking to them, trying to explain our situation and how we could get out of our situation. And I never felt that talking with you guys. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed. And I think actually that's what looking at your website made me actually really think about all these life situations that we'd been through that got us to this point, that made us need to use more money off a credit card or take out a loan or what have you. And when I put all of those situations into one, it was quite a huge thing. It wasn't just one thing, it's just loads of things that have just impacted us. And to not feel ashamed and embarrassed, and don't give up hope, I suppose. I don't know, that the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Just keep going and try to work it out. To have worked with Debt Angels and achieve and for them to have achieved for us what they have, it's priceless. It's worth so much to us. And for our kids, I think, our eldest is less than 2 years away from high school, and the same thing, I suppose, as as me getting to the point of buying our own home, I thought that was out of reach. Not saying that we definitely do want to send her to a private school, but the situation we were in financially meant that that was off the table as well. And that's now something else that we can sort of, think more about and choose a school that really is right for her and not just determined by how much money we have or how little money we have. I definitely didn't expect the sort of emotional side of things, dealing with dead angels. I thought it was just going to be like a financial transaction, and it definitely wasn't. It actually sort of made me revisit, I suppose, my mental health and try to improve myself in that regard, which I think, if I'm not in a good place there, then I'm not great with the financial side, or I'm not great with anything, let's be honest. The debt arrangement is amazing, but I think just the relationship that I now have with myself and with my husband and my kids, and just some different things in my life that I've been able to sort out and work through again. That was definitely unexpected.